Zeno Damus. I'm here with
Q.
And on Skype,
Blood Axe.
There's ice. There's ice outside, people.
There's ice outside.
It's ice everywhere.
This is the South. We're not supposed to have ice falling from the sky. What is this shit?
Man, why can't we have somebody do? That'd be a cool stunt, though. If I looked outside and somebody was walking down the street in Viking gear, that would be friggin' amazing. Just go ahead and roll with it. Just
You might have to want to watch the Capitol.
real Viking gear, not like the Vikings football NFL paint gear.
All right. So,
Anyway, that guy was Antifa, remember?
no. All right, let's get this started. We already started. Damn
Kevin
it.
Sorbo.
That part's in there now. All of y'all heard that. Damn it. Anyway.
We do not have an actual opinion on who was what or what. I have done no research and know nothing about anything.
There you go. Disclaimer, buddy. All right.
I'm an idiot is always the best disclaimer.
First topic we have is Jack Black will play the snarky robot Claptrap in the Borderlands movie.
I might actually watch this now because I have watched everything except for like School of Rock. I've watched almost every Jack. Oh, and dang it, I didn't watch the Jumanji one, but I've seen almost all. I know. I've seen some of it. Like I've seen it on TV.
I loved him in Jumanji. He did a really, really good job in Jumanji.
I'll catch it. I mean, you know how easy it is to catch
Jumanji,
it now.
I did not watch. I did not watch that one.
Yeah, it's Jumanji 2 technically, but yeah. But like, I've seen. Okay, let me correct that. I've seen School of Rock on TV, so I've seen parts of it. But like, I went to see in theaters like Nacho Libre and stuff. Like, I've seen The Pick of Destiny. I'm a big Jack Black fan, and no, I don't think his movies are good. But yet I also watch them all because I love Jack Black.
Not that great, but
hey,
it's worth
screw you!
listening
What are you
to.
talking about?
I mean,
Tribute? This is a tribute. You don't know nothing.
It's a mixture of okay music that's funny as well.
Tribute?
Oh no, I'm hearing myself. Blood Axe.
Blood Axe were echoing.
Yeah, my bad. I fouled up.
Okay.
Sorry. And we got Wood Mai in the chat as well.
Oh, nice.
What's up, Wood on by?
So Jack Black's gonna be Claptrap. That's gonna be cool.
He would do a good Claptrap. I think it's gonna be hilarious.
Now is this whole thing gonna be animated or is it,
No idea and don't really care.
Do you guys know anything about this movie? I haven't really paid that much attention. I just saw Jack Black and Claptrap. So
I think it'd be better if it was animated as opposed to live action, but they haven't released those details yet. They've only released some of the people that've been cast. But if he's allowed to freelance with Claptrap, as long as he knows the games, I think he'll be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it says it joins the cast with Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, and Kate Blanchett. So, I mean, they've already got some big names attached to this.
Jamie Lee Curtis? Isn't she super old?
Yeah. She's older.
Who's she play?
I don't know.
It may be voices, dude. It may be animated.
Oh, if it's animated, because I was just gonna go like that is gonna be the oldest Lilith. Like, holy crap, Grandma Lilith. Don't get me wrong, Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome. She could make it work. Like her, she's with me. Like I like her. Sigourney Weaver. There's some like older women that are freaking amazing actors and do good jobs as like she's got the hairstyle too. Like she's been rocking that hairstyle to do a Lilith.
Jamie Lee Curtis is playing Tannis. Kevin Hart is Roland, and Kate Blanchett is Lilith.
Okay, it's animated. She's playing Tannis. It's got to be. Tannis is not nearly, Kevin Hart's playing Roland. I'm still not sure what to think of that. They have to. You know what? It has to be animated. Kevin Hart can't play Roland. Roland is like a 6'6" soldier.
Oh God!
Like there's no way.
Kevin Hart's like a.
Kevin Hart almost could play the Black Peter Dinklage. Like he's not quite there, but he's close. Like, he is like a little bit shorter.
According to what I'm finding, it's saying live action.
That would be.
So in other words, the only part of this movie that's going to be good is Claptrap. Gotcha. Got it. All right, that adds up. I now know you're in it for the clap.
I'm thinking that may be misinformation. This with this cast, it already just feels to me like it's going to be animated, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's also sounding like it's going to be a comedy. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a Jumanji-like comedy.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Be fun.
Who's Kate Blanchett, by the way? I don't know my actresses.
who most recently directed The House with a Clock in the Walls. I'm not familiar
That does
with
not sound like a good reference. Recently directed,
Is that like a Lifetime movie?
You know who they need to have? You know who needs to direct this? Neil Breen. Neil Breen. Oh, you guys don't know. I forgot. Y'all don't keep up with nothing. So there's some people out there that know what I'm talking about and are like, oh, my God, that'd be wild.
Yeah, Blanchett to play Lilith, Curtis to play Tannis, and Kevin Hart to play Roland.
Wait a minute. Jamie Lee Curtis was Hela in Thor? Are you sure, Wu Denbai?
Kate Blanchett was Helen Thor.
Oh, cool. She could probably pull off a Lilith then, yeah.
Oh yeah, Kate Blanchett would do well as Lilith, I believe. Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis, I don't know if she's quirky enough.
Now to think about it, I do want Peter Dinklage movie. I want him to play Salvatore. Peter Dinklage is Salvatore. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm finding multiple sites that saying this is supposed to be live action, so it's going to be different than what we're accustomed to as gamers. But then again, we may not be the target audience.
Well, don't forget, it's a video game movie. It is already going to be kind of bad. It's a video game movie. Like, the best video game movies are still terrible movies. Everyone talks about Mortal Kombat, the first one, and it is a great movie. I loved it. It's also a terrible movie. Like, it's not good. It's a great video game movie. Sonic, I enjoyed the Sonic movie. Oh, my God, seeing Jim Carrey as Jim Carrey again just, man, took me back. But it's also a video game movie. So as a movie, it's terrible. But as a video game movie, it was awesome. This will probably be
Jim Carrey was the reason why I thought about watching that movie. Was just
he's good, man. It's the Jim Carrey.
Watching some of the parts he had on YouTube, I was like, all right, I may want to watch this just for Jim Carrey.
Every time he was on screen, he was incredible.
It did feel like he was going back to his older style of just crazy over the top acting.
Dude, I'm laughing just remembering it. That's how good Jim Carrey was. Like, I'm sitting here like grinning because I'm like, that was funny. Like, I kind of want to watch it again, but only the Jim Carrey parts. Like, hey, you know what? Internet, put together just a Jim Carrey cut of some, just skip everything and just put all the Jim Carrey parts from beginning to end. I would watch that, man, probably a dozen times because he was funny. Like I know he's done a lot of serious stuff, but I gotta say, man, he is at his best when he is just unchecked entertaining and just being entertaining. You know what I mean? So, sorry, side effect. Like, Jim Carrey fanning out here, but, oh, man, Jim Carrey and Jack Black in a movie together, that would be good.
Oh, my God. Oh, apparently Roland is supposed to be the lead role in Borderlands as well.
Kevin Hart's going to be, oh, wow, this movie is really going to be something. I've seen more Kevin Hart movies than I care to admit to. And, how many have you seen?
A lot of them.
You don't watch Kevin Hart movies.
It doesn't say no to a movie at all.
Like, I've seen, like, Ride Along and, like, with him and Ice Cube, and I've seen, like, the one with him and that terrible actor, Will Ferrell, the, like, Get Hard. Which, yeah, no, I think that really is the title. Don't look at me. They call it Get Hard.
Well, if it's got Will Ferrell, I wouldn't watch it anyway. I can't stand his stuff. He's way too out there.
Oh, yeah, no. But I've seen, like, several of Kevin Hart's movies, and I love Kevin Hart, love his comedy, too. But whereas I can sit through a Jack Black movie, like, it's getting harder to sit through his, except, of course, Jumanji, which had Jack Black and Kevin Hart in it and was really good. Or wait a minute, or was Kevin Hart in the next one? Oh, Kevin Hart was in Jumanji 3, wasn't he? I think he was in Jumanji 3. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is that I don't know if leading man. If he's the leading character, then it has to be a comedy. Jumanji, what are you? You know spelling. Dang it. Okay, I misspelled a word I said out loud. Dang it. But you know spelling. Both. I didn't know you could misspell while you were talking, but I just did. Oh, no, he was in that. No, he was in both. Yeah. Kevin Hart and Jack Black were in there. That's why I really need to see that, because 3 of those, like, I love The Rock, I love Jack Black, and I love Kevin Hart. I don't even know who she is.
Kevin Hart and The Rock did a lot of,
she was in. Yeah, she was actually in.
She's from Doctor Who.
She played Doctor Who, but she played Nebula in Guardians.
She's the blue girl.
Okay.
From Guardians.
Cool,
yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, Kevin Hart and Jack Black and Dwayne Johnson.
Y'all haven't seen Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle or the second one?
I've only seen the first one. I've seen parts of the second one.
Surprisingly, it was really good. I wasn't expecting a whole lot just because when you tinker with a classic movie from your childhood, especially with the Robin Williams classic, it doesn't really go over very well. But the way the cast works together and the way in the situation they're put in actually made it really, really good. But I love Jack Black's performance in the film. And I'm not going to spoil it for you two, although it's
I know. No, I've seen some of it. I know what he's doing. Yeah, I know what the role he's playing.
Hilarious.
I heard he did a really good job.
Well, all of them did actually. Even Kevin Hart's portrayal, because the football player who takes on his persona is really kind of in a bad position because he used to be the biggest and strongest, and he's now the walking backpack. And
I'll check it out.
It's worth a good watch. The second one, I didn't care for the
they tried to do the no country for old men version of the second on the the third Jumanji. But all right then. So, and since we've clearly not cared enough about the Borderlands movie to even talk about it more than we did Jumanji, let's go ahead and go to the next topic.
Yeah. Well, this one I threw in there for Q because I know he was a big fan when they were doing the original Little Bits trailers on this. But Black Myth Wukong has come out with an official trailer, which is a little odd, being that the game isn't supposed to release till like 2023. So we got like another 2 years.
Wukong, the handsome Monkey King, the great sage equal unto heaven, the legend. This is looking like this is going to be a good game. Like every time I see, don't get me wrong, it's just more awesome footage. Like I didn't see anything new.
Honestly, this was less gameplay, more cinematic footage, which is usually not what we're looking for. But being that
the first one was pure gameplay,
your love for the genre, it made Q happy.
I mean, dude, if they don't make a game, make a movie, because their animation just makes me want to sit down and watch a movie of this, just I'm hoping this will launch their studio and they'll continue to make games in its vein, because we're both fans of cultivation.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Q before the show, as I was talking about. I'm not as big of a fan of the actual stories, the legends.
Journey to the West.
I'm more of a fan of cultivation, so I would love to see them after this maybe work on sort of more of that create your own character cultivation type RPG. That would be awesome.
Go learn different styles and techniques and go out into the world to face. I mean, there's a bunch of non-translated. I've ran across several non-translated games that have cultivation in them. But since this is specifically going to at least be subtitle translated and it's a little more action-y, because the ones I found are usually MMOs, I'm hoping that this will launch a new genre that I'll live long enough to enjoy. That's the only thing we were talking about. Like, I'll be like 50 by the time that game we're looking for comes out after this. Because, I mean, this is clearly what I've been looking for in a Wukong game. Like, I've played Unruly Heroes and a lot of other games that were supposed to be about the Monkey King. They never really captured it. But this looks like this is going to be good. By the way, that was probably that bull is one of the actual characters. Like, there's either referred to a bull. There is a bull character in Journey to the West that becomes Wukong's sworn brother. Before he attacks him, okay, you know what? You don't have any idea what I'm talking about. Let's just say it looks really good, and if you're fans, then you're happy like I am. So keep working, but dang it, 2023.
Yeah, it's got some time on it. It's got some time on it.
We might all be dead by then, the way things are going. Like, are we gonna make it to 2023? Like, 2023 is looking like a far-off dream that we hope will get here, and there's still electricity and, video games in the world. We haven't gone Mad Max by then, or had to learn to speak Russian or Chinese, something. No, at least if I learn to speak Chinese, it'll be easier to play the game. They don't have to translate it. Okay? See? You got to make a win-win out of it. You got to take lemons and make lemonade.
And on that note, why don't you roll for us, Q, on the random encounters?
You do
table.
it. You do it, Blood Axe.
You didn't roll last week, so that's why I was going to get you.
I just don't feel like listening to you.
All right, Blood Axe.
I'll roll next. Or not.
I didn't hear you, Blood Axe.
I rolled a 2.
A 2. Heroes and Icons, favorite G1, Autobot, and Decepticon.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, man. He went G1, too. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, G1.
Oh, there were so many good ones, man.
Well, yeah, and the
I
Autobot
got it.
that
So
everyone
bad.
will probably pick is Jetfire, so that one's not really allowed.
No.
But my favorite one is actually the very first Autobot or Transformer that I bought, and it was Mirage.
Really?
I'm still waiting for Mirage to come out in one of the films, and it hasn't happened yet. But I absolutely love me some Mirage. Decepticon-wise, it's got to be Soundwave. Just because
You bastard! You
all
bastard!
the
I had all the cassettes. You son of a bitch. That's okay because you didn't take my Autobot. Autobot, actually, man, even though technically some will say that they was a Dinobot, no, man. First, Grimlock. Grimlock kick butt. I was a massive Grimlock fan.
I've got a G1 Grimlock in my garage.
I'm going to rob you. Oh, you think I'm joking? Hey. Grimlock.
The chrome has actually chipped off and it's blue underneath, but I still got one in my garage.
Grimlock was my favorite of the Autobots. When it comes to the Decepticons or villains, other than Shockwave, the actual one I owned, the two I owned that were just, it was, I actually am one of those spoiled little kids. We used to crack jokes that, like, Wells is actually the one that grew up like poor, and I actually was a privileged little brat because I had Devastator. Like all of them. I had the full Devastator built bot. But I loved, nice one. But I did love the Sharkticons from the movie. I had the Sharkticons. So my most played with toy was Grimlock and the Sharkticons, but I had Devastator and Soundwave, as well. And I never could get Optimus Prime. He sold out constantly. And my neighbor had Optimus Prime, and I had to bring my stuff over there. But I mean, putting together Devastator was took more than one Christmas to get all of them. Because that was back when they did the weird thing where they didn't ship all the toys to every store. So you had to go to another city or somewhere to get it. I had to go visit a friend. We were out of town. But I put together Devastator, and I was like, hell yeah. The Constructicons. And, but no, man. Grimlock and the Sharkticons, and a lot of people were shocked when I had it. They didn't even know the Sharkticons had a toy. I remember my friends were always like, hey, man, that's for the movie. And I was like, yeah, I got the Sharkticons. And they're like, holy crap, I didn't even know they were a thing. That's how rare they were. When I was growing up, nobody else had them. And only the real, you could also tell the real fans because they knew what it was. You could tell the kids that didn't get to see the movie. Huh?
You had the touch. You had the power.
Yeah. They were like, you got the Sharkticons for the movie. I was like, you get to play with me. Know.
When I was a kid, movies were the devil's work, so I wasn't able to go see them.
Like I said, he had the sad upbringing.
Oh.
He had GoBots. He didn't have Transformers.
No, I had Transformers. Transformers were more my brother's thing than it was mine. I guess I'm a little younger than you two. But also, I was never as big into the mech series as I was other series.
I can already answer it. Jarek did. He his favorite would be none of those. He was probably playing with Voltron. 'Cause he's a huge Voltron nerd. He'd probably man, screw Transformers, man, Voltron.
But yeah, no, we had a bunch of the Transformers, Hot Wheels, and stuff like that. Growing up, like I said, they were more my two older brothers were more into it than I was. So,
I mean, Starscream is one of my favorite characters, but not my favorite toy. He was talking about. We said favorite, so yeah, Grimlock in general. Starscream was awesome in every series. I'll admit it. He is a classic.
Yeah, I almost picked Starscream for mine, but I just remember having so much fun with all the different cassettes for Soundwave and being a music
Rumble
geek in the
and
80s,
Howler,
Laserbeak.
Yeah, Laserbeak, Prowler, Rumbler, and I think there was another one. Because there were like two, like Rumble, I think, had a different color swap twin. But I remember I had Laserbeak, Rumble, and Prowler was my pride and joy. And the tape had came off of Prowler. You know, like I played with him so much that, like, remember he had the cassette skin? It was just a tape, like a little tape that they had on it, looked like a cassette on the outside, and that was peeling. But nah, man, I loved Soundwave. Like, yeah, he was a fun toy. So, I mean, good pick.
All right, so let's talk about some Star Wars drama. This has been a long-lasting or coming thing with
Fire Gina Carano has been hashtagging for a while,
but it is said that Gina Carano is out after a recent tweet that
Instagram.
Oh, is it Instagram?
Yeah. It was an Instagram post. Actually, I pulled it up here, and I'll go ahead and read it for everyone, especially for those on the podcast. Basically, she took a picture of a woman that was actually running from a Nazi during the Holocaust, and with the caption stated, Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children, because history is edited. Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?
That was a lot more than I intended to go into that.
To discuss it, we need to actually know the context of what she said.
I was just going to discuss her getting fired.
We all agree that what she said, we understand her point, but comparing political stances and that sort of thing to the Holocaust is completely inappropriate.
I mean, I believe there's a couple of inaccuracies in what she spoke. I mean, I remember when I was in school, actually them talking about the animosity by the other people and people turning in their neighbors and stuff like that for sheltering. So I don't think that was erased from history. As much as it's just the Nazis did horrible things, and so that tends to be the one you think about.
I mean, the actual subject that we were going to talk about was that she got fired from the season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
As far as what she did, I mean, the general consensus is usually that, I mean, we support freedom of speech, but we also support the fact that if you put your foot in your mouth, you're probably going to get fired. Man, this is definitely a footed mouth moment. There is no doubt that's a footed mouth by far.
I mean, regardless of the factuality,
right or wrong, it's still a bad choice.
Of what she said, I feel like she should have known better.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, you brought up one of those things that's really touchy.
And I think we all have a slightly different slant on this. Blood Axe, I mean, what do you feel like on this one? You're also our Star Wars guy, so.
Well, yeah, and I think that what she said was inappropriate and wrong. I think we can all agree on that. But she didn't say anything that was hateful. She wasn't targeting anybody. And for Disney to fire her for this, I think it was more they were going to fire her anyway, and they just needed an excuse.
Yeah, I do believe they were already planning.
Yeah, I will say the fact that they said that she had anti-Semitic views, this was not anti-Semitic. It was not that's a misuse of that term to call this that.
Right.
Was it maybe insensitive? Yeah, I could see that. You know, wasn't making light of a bigger situation. You could argue that.
That's where I kind of fall in, and I felt like it was a bit of a over exaggeration, at least at the moment.
Yeah.
But here's the. Oh, I'm sorry, you were giving your opinion.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to have an opinion.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say, you know, as far as apples and oranges go, you know, it's like, does this deserve somebody being booted from a TV series because they have an opinion that doesn't necessarily match? And that's where this comes in.
And that's where my opinion is. Like, here's my sentiment. Normally, I would say This makes perfect sense for Disney because Disney itself, now, not for any, just Disney is like no bad press. No bad press. But where I do have an issue is that there's other people saying really messed up stuff too, and Disney's ignoring it. And I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. What I see currently that's my issue is I see a bias. And that's my problem. There are certain writers who made some very racial comments, though they happen to be about white people, but still they were racial, that didn't get in trouble. Even Pedro's got a couple of tweets that are out there. So it's like, well, do you not want people doing this or not? And that's where I have a problem, because I believe a person even has a right to be wrong.
The hypocrisy of...
Yeah, the hypocrisy. Like, I can't sit up here and say I support Gina being fired and that, well, yeah, she does have multiple strikes. I'll give you that. But still, I mean, there's also some strikes that are worth more than one. And I mean, I'm not going to go into this because politically, I don't really care. They're just actors. Yeah. They mean nothing to me. So please don't think we have a real stance. This is casual talk because ultimately, when we talked about it, we were like, you know what we really believe? The real opinion, I know of me and him, is that, man, you missed when actors weren't on social media.
Yeah,
Because personally, I don't care about Gina Carano at all. Do my movie and shut up. I don't want to know about your personal life. Yeah. I didn't even used to know the name of actors. Back in the day, I couldn't name my favorite actors. So personally, she can say whatever she wants. Now, here's the thing. A business has a right to fire you if they think you're causing trouble. Yeah. Same time, they should also be fair and do that to all their employees and hold the same standard. That's my opinion, because it's not fair to fire only certain people, because today it's Gina Carano. Oh, I think white lady. But tomorrow, it could be someone else that's a different race. So I have to stand on my high horse and go, don't have different rules. Well, don't have different standards. Yeah. Either be everyone has freedom to talk how they want, or nobody does. Don't decide only this demographic has freedom of speech.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you said, Disney has the right to do this.
It's completely legitimate.
But don't expect not to have a backlash or some kind of reaction from fans when you pick a side.
Yeah, I mean, we're 50-50 on politics, man.
When you take a side and you go, well, we're gonna blame these people for their opinion and saying things that are heated, but when these people over here say heated things and say things, we're not going to do anything about that. Now, they have that right. They can do that. But don't expect all your fans and all your people who are putting money behind you not to go, wait a second, because not all your fans, not all your income base believe the same way you do. So there there has been backlash already. Cancel Disney Plus has already trended. They have already talked about there being a decrease in subscriptions.
That stock actually got a small hit by 1 or 2%, I think. Yeah. And I mean, because here's the thing too about this subject. Whatever you think about this, I mean, even us who are usually of the same mind, we're not 100%. We're at different degrees of kind of on the same page, but there's some variance there. This is at least a contested enough subject to not weigh in. Like, this is one of those things where I think as a company, you just sit back and go, hey, man, we think that was kind of messed up, but we'll see what happens. But instead, they came out and they decided to go, no, this is anti-Semitic and this was horrible. Yeah. Like, okay, you threw out an opinion. I mean, to me, the real mistake Disney made wasn't firing her. It was the throwing under a bus and throwing out an opinion with it. If they just said, we're not going to work with her because she's too hot, she's a hot potato, I'd have supported them and said, hey, I don't blame you, man. You don't want somebody out there that's firing off stuff that's upsetting people. That's a valid business move. Yeah. But then they tried to establish their own opinion, and I was like, oh, you dummies.
But then, like you said, when a previous person said something and did something horrible, they supported them, and even
I think they should have fired them too.
And we're like, oh, we respect people's opinion.
We support.
Like this was just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. When somebody was saying, white people this, white people that, lumping people together and doing, saying very hateful things about a particular race, which I think is much more.
Oh no, I consider like this
direct
is
than
nothing
this.
compared. This was somebody making a bad comparison, and like I told you, I said playing the victim card, kind of, and not even saying that you meant to do it, but playing the we're being treated like these people from the Holocaust is the biggest victim. It beats the slavery card. That's the biggest victim card ever, and you probably shouldn't do it if you're not a member of that group. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big victim card to throw out. But on the flip side, this other person just attacked people, like just straight up attacked a demographic. And I'm like, well, and I didn't have a problem when they did it. I just said, I'm not going to support anything she does. I'm not going to watch the show. And, you know, when Gina Carano did this, I looked at it and said, when they fired her, my thing was not cancel Disney Plus, but I was like, I'm probably not going to watch Mandalorian Season 3 because I disagree with the choices that were made.
Woonball, the reason we chose Woonball in the chat room mentions the title of this being deceptive, being that it says being conservative, which I agree is it can be a little bit deceptive. The reason I chose this one was because it actually had the quote in it, where all the other ones that I linked to just
we like sources,
didn't do the full quote. They just picked pieces
and I don't
of
like
it.
that because context gets lost.
So I wanted one with the full quote.
But I mean, ultimately, can they fire her? Full rights to do so. Can people get pissed about them doing it? Full rights to do so.
Yeah. Just to wrap up, what Christina Ariel said a couple of weeks ago is far and above more appropriate for a firing than what Gina Carano said.
I actually agree fully with that.
This is just an excuse to get rid of her for whatever reason they have, and which I don't understand because she was an extremely popular member of Mandalorian.
Well, and that's the other reason I think why the conservative tag got thrown on this was because it does seem to be that the left has been the one doing the fire
Gina
Carano tag the most.
Well, you know, it all started with the pronouns, but I'm not even getting into all
the pronouns and there was the pronouns thing and there was the COVID thing.
Oh yeah. I do not like her COVID stuff. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm not supposed to. I will admit, I was like, oh boy.
I was sick for a week after the vaccine. But one thing that is interesting, and Zeno, I sent you a link to it if you wanted to look at it. In 2018, Pedro Pascal actually posted something very similar.
Yep.
Where he said that the United States is now the same as Nazi Germany back in 1944.
Yep.
And he still has a job.
Yeah.
No, people pulled that up. People have commented on that.
Well, that can sort of lead to the next. That they also say Pedro may exit as well. Now
I think he's just got a better job, though.
Yeah, this may be more due to. Which this article actually tries to relate it because of something with
The Last
the
of
articles
Us
being posted real close together. But anyway, the Last of Us, Pedro is starring in.
He would be Joel. He'd be the star of the show. He'd be like with a no mask or nothing.
And that there may not be a Mandalorian season 3, but we almost went that route with the end of the Mandalorian. It seemed like they were ready to sort of split off onto those other
My original
shows
theory,
anyway.
was that the Mandalorian had reached a point to where I didn't really want. I won't lie. One of the reasons I wasn't interested in watching season 3 is I honestly think they finished the Mandalorian arc. Like, to me, they need to go into those other arcs, but there's not really a reason for a Mandalorian 3. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, let's go into the what's her name? Your favorite Mandalorian, the lady,
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan arc. Like, to me,
my favorite female Mandalorian is actually Sabine Wren, and I keep waiting for her to pop up. But there are some rumors that have been floating around since last year that he's actually only going to be doing voice work anyway, which actually would kind of make sense to have the stunt guys do all the acting and let him just lend his voice to keep the Mandalorian the same.
Well, he could also do that from a different set, so he could be on the set of The Last of Us, but go out and do the voice work and send it in.
That's the thing. I mean, voice work just means you got to go to a studio and read some lines. You know?
Yes.
So that actually makes sense if that is true, where he just does the voice work and takes a couple of days to knock all those lines out and then go do his other films, and whatever revoice work he has to do later on, he can always just catch up.
Whatever happens, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch with what all's going on in Disney and their Star Wars series and universe, whether or not anything gets pulled back or moved forward or confirmed.
Yeah, Wooden and Vi pointed out to Suri, like, yeah, dude, another one where I was like, man, I can't wait for Black Panther 2. What did you say? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
I really wish celebrities would stop talking.
Yeah, she stepped into the whole COVID thing. So with the Luciferus.
The Luciferian, like,
Luciferian,
light bearer,
yeah.
glowing, the mark of the beast.
Speaking of weird, we also...
You know what, let's roll into something else. Damn it, Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo's Facebook.
It's not getting any better. We used to be about comics and games.
Well, I mean, all of these people are about comics and games.
That's how bad it's getting. You remember a long time ago on this show, we looked into the camera and said, please keep politics out of our geek. But it looks like it's impossible.
Oh. Kevin Sorbo's Facebook was deleted. Now, it does seem like this may be due to some Capitol Hill post that he did.
I was shocked. I just thought he was doing Christian stuff because I've seen him with that.
Yeah, he said some
David R. White, like A.R. White stuff. I've seen some of the movies, and I don't care how you say this. I am a Christian, but this stuff's out there, man. Like, there's pretty strong stuff. But no, apparently he's got some political statements, and I believe we were talking about it, and we were saying that I said, it doesn't matter what your opinion are. Like, the Capitol Hill's a hot topic.
Yeah.
And it's not something to put your foot in. It's like the COVID vaccines and stuff. Don't stick your toe into that subject, man. It's a bad place.
I mean, I once again, my biggest concern is freedom of speech here. When you have the tech companies deleting people's Facebooks or Twitters and all this stuff.
Oh, they're in the chat talking about it. Lucy Lawless got mad at him. Just to give you the short of it, because we actually looked it up because we check our sources. We looked it up, and she got mad at him because you won't get sorry if I say what she said since it's a quote.
Yeah,
okay. He said that it was Antifa that led the rush on Capitol Hill. We're not stating an opinion on this one way or another, but I like the person that replied to that. Sources were not provided to that claim. And she went off. She went like hashtag, like, you keep your hands are dirty. Like, she went in on him, man.
Yeah.
Like, whew,
once again, like, my opinion, I'll give my opinion on this a little bit, and that's just that don't go and state things as facts without, like,
there was no question marks or guesses. He made a blanket statement.
We often hear a lot of rumors. We read a lot of rumors. We discuss a lot of rumors on here. We always make sure that we say this is a rumor or this is believed or this is,
I have declared that I'm an a-hole who's opinionated and will say things based on my dislike. I have said this. So do not take anything I say as unbiased or truthful.
And this goes with not only celebrities but media and all this, jumping on things before we have facts, and stating them as facts it should always bite you in the ass. I want it to bite you in the ass.
In public, not to your friends. You put this out in the ethos, like open tweet. But back on the main topic, unless you got something, Blood Axe. We've been ranting for a minute. You got anything on the Kevin Sorbo you want to throw out there?
Well, no, not well. Yeah, I guess I kind of do.
We were trying and failing. We're all like, well, no, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the thing that really bugs me is that Facebook doesn't really give the reasons why they're canceling your account. So, for example, when I loaded up a music video from the 80s on MySpace, and MySpace deleted my account and told me that I had loaded copyrighted content, don't do it again. But they deleted my account. But they at least told me why they deleted it. And they won't comment or give a reason why they got rid of him. And that really kind of infuriates me, because you have people that are very extreme, whether it be politics, religion, or whatever, who say all kinds of things on Facebook, and they get away with it. So I am kind of curious what persuaded them to cancel his account.
Yeah, and I think that's been sort of the thing we've been preaching about, is the hypocrisy here, with targeting other, one or the other. And this seems to be a thing across all the current major social medias. We see this in YouTube, where people you have people say that they have get strikes for having somebody in their video that they want to be in there or something like that, but they don't say who. They don't say at what point. They give you a link to the editing tool so you can edit it out, but you don't know who to edit out or what to edit
no
out.
Information.
And this seems to be a continuous thing with that I hear from people on Twitter. People, they'll give them either a vague, just, oh, you violated our rules,
The lack of feedback.
or nothing.
Well, the reason that they can't get feedback is because what they're doing that's at least a little bit better than Disney is that they're doing it, I believe, for the same reasons, but they're at least not going to tell you where you can go and show people, oh, they said they deleted this because I said this and it holds this view. So what they'll do is they'll just go for the safe, quietly delete your page. And, and I'm of a weird opinion on this because, again, I mainly feel that censorship's bad. But I do understand how he got himself deleted. I don't think it's necessarily right, but I get it. And it's just that whatever your opinion on Capitol Hill, it scared the hell out of a lot of people. And when people are scared, they overreact. And he probably should have just, again, kind of like with the Holocaust, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Because at the time that he said this, people were scared. And there's something comes out that certain people are going to view as incitive or possibly going to cause more conflict. And they might have said, you're out. They might have said, this guy's causing trouble. And I'm hoping that they were just worried that this could cause more, tension. But it could have just been, unfortunately, they picked a side and decided we have a problem with one side or the other. But I'm going to try to hope for the best, even though he makes fun of me for my foolish hope every time I'm shocked that humanity proves to be terrible. But I'm hoping that they just said, you know what? Let's not talk about this. This thing, some of the things you said are freaking people out. We're going to cancel your page. But it's not good to justify not letting people have their say. That's the problem. It's one of those hotbed issues of people need their voice.
Look, dude, I've been fighting anti-censorship and freedom of speech since I was in high school in the 90s, so I will continue to fight the right for people to be stupid if they want to be.
I gotta admit though, they're starting to say stuff that I'm like, oh,
the
it used to be before it, and it wasn't so out there that you were like, cringe.
We have laws about certain things you can't say. You can't incite violence. You can't push to
banning Little
somebody.
Boosie was just for the good of everyone. I don't even know what Little Boosie said, but every time he opens his mouth, he hurts my feelings.
But I mean,
he sounds like that.
When and I just think, if somebody says stupid things, I don't want you to delete that. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to go and say, oh man, that person says stupid things. I don't need to listen to them.
It is good to know where they are. I would have never known about Kevin Sorbo if not for literally me going to his Twitter and going, oh wow, okay, I did not know you felt that way. I didn't need to know, but now that I know, I'm looking at him a little different. I won't lie.
Yeah, no.
Because if you say it publicly, I also have the right to judge you.
I'm a bit disappointed in him, man. Like I said, I like Kevin Sorbo. I had a nice conversation with him down on the coast when he was down at the Gulf Coast Con, and very likable dude. Nice, one of the nicest people I've met. But just because you're a nice person doesn't mean you don't have some fucked up ideas. So
a person's complex. They're more than just one or two facets. Like I told you, when I watched some of the movies he's been in, some of the last few movies he made, I was like, whoa, what did they say? And I was like, oh, that's a bit strong, man. Ooh. And I'm just that's spicy.
But all right, I'm done with being sad and disappointed in humanity.
So
I'm not.
What? So I don't see any good news up there. You tell me which one of these.
You're right.
CD
I'm
Project
wrong.
Red is.
I guess let's do a random encounter. How about that? How about we just do a random encounter?
I liked episode 6 of WandaVision. All right, bring it up. I'll roll now. We'll talk about WandaVision.
Wooden Boss says, banning accounts is a slippery slope, but if you don't ban, you get sent to Congress. Yes, that's a whole nother problem, man. Let's Oh, let me get that off the screen.
This is when you know it's bad. We can't escape these topics.
Yeah.
We've did so good for so many years.
All right.
And now we can't.
Roll. Let's get
need
something
a list.
random.
Roll.
I think I got it memorized, man.
I mean, you roll. We pulled the list up, too.
I hope I roll whatever it is that 18.
Oh.
No, we need 18. Come on,
Just
baby.
roll.
Whoa!
How about that?
Oh, give me that something horrible list.
All right.
That just goes with the theme of this show. Really,
Yeah, yeah,
That's just
yeah.
it's all
We're-
horrible.
There goes something nice. 17. Creep-tastic.
Oh no!
No. Can't do that. Can't do that. They actually watch the show. Hell, they're in here sometimes, man. I can't go with that story.
It's something horrible.
It's also that's something that we cannot talk about.
That involves like an actual
Yeah,
people that have a business. Oh
Um,
no, I'm sorry, Blood Axe. I never thought I'd have to veto,
Yeah.
but that could literally be a legal issue.
yeah, that could get us legally in trouble.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Dude, have you not heard the story? You don't remember everything that happened?
No, I've never been told the story.
Oh, well, we'll tell
when
you,
you come,
when
you
we're
come
off
down,
camera.
we'll tell you the
Yeah.
whole story.
Yeah, just delete that off because there's
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
roll again. Yes, people, but we have stories that are literally a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for wouldn't by. We were trying to navigate it because in reality, we really do. I do want to express this to our people. We really don't have any strong opinions. It is just idle. Unlike folks that wave flags, none of us are flag waving. And I mean for any side or the other when I say
Yeah.
flag waving. Like, we're really kind of laid back and we have opinions, but ultimately we believe that everyone's opinion is valid, right or wrong.
I mean,
and,
as weird hippie-ish as it sounds, I mean, we all just want to get along and
Right.
I just care about video games and comics. You want to be honest? I'm
Yeah.
selfish, ultimately.
Okay. So, Zeno, I updated the question for 17. Just refresh, and we'll use that question.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll
Okay.
use that then. Okay, Zeno, he said Zeno for you. I want you to tell him about the time that you found out we weren't joking about how sensitive certain people could be during a game.
So
Poor guy.
The topic is the creep-tastic, the scene in a game that creeped you out.
I think you
Yes.
should tell the story about the.
Oh.
That one got you.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so I guess I'll start this off, even though Q rolled the 1. The creepiest time
Well, it
I had
was the
in the
second
game.
time for me, so I was
Yeah.
used to it.
I started DMing for a group. This is my first time DM for this group. It was a group that Quinn was in. This is actually where I met Quinn, and
We had Kitsune there.
the
and
only
Jarek.
the only person I knew was Jarek at that time. That was part of this group. And I think I had met you a couple of times through Jarek on some other things, but so I'm running this campaign and I'm trying to, everybody gave me backstories, so I try to implement those backstories into the game so that they can sort of have their own scene. And so there was this one guy there. He was playing a female character, which is fine. I've ran games with guys that play female characters before. Not that big of a deal. I usually like if anything too emotional comes up, I'm not a very emotional person, so I'm more speak the scene than act the scene.
Is
So-
really what happened.
It gets into this somewhat emotional scene with our rogue, who is playing the guy playing the female character, and he starts just getting all up in this scene, and I'm like, all right, I mean, he's gonna do this. Let's see what he does. I'll watch.
He wasn't ready.
The man started crying, like real tears, and just like
Listen to him
voice
now, he's already stuttering. just thinking
voice
about it.
cracking, tears coming down, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was just like, what?
And what's terrible
What-
is that me and Jarek and the others this is our second time, and we had warned him. He thought we were
And-
kidding.
and
So we're
everybody-
just looking at him like
I
deal with that.
I start looking around the room for support,
No,
and they're
we're
just like,
deal with that, man. Yeah, we told you it might happen.
and so he has gotten down on his knees in front of me, crying. And I was just like, all right, man, you keep going with that. I'm going to go outside, smoke a cigarette.
Yes, the DM left in the middle of the scene and said, just keep acting. I'm going to go.
So I you know, I'm outside smoking. He's still in there crying, going through his scene. And I'm just like.
And I come outside and,
whoa.
like, I see him and his eyes are just like, and I said, we told you it might happen.
And yeah, no. You know, it's sort of like as a DM and sex scenes, you know. I'm not going to go through that. I'm not, you know, we all know what sex is like. We all are familiar with the process. And there's no reason I have to describe it to you. You know, it's probably better if I don't because, you know, I have my own kinks. What, man? I do.
Luckily I don't know them, so I was just like, I'm glad. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that I don't.
Yeah. So you know, you just sort of run through the scene and you let the image in your head tell the story. You know, I was not prepared for real tears, down on the knees, like clenched fist, like looking up at the sky, like I was expecting it to start raining, and I was just like, I'm out.
I missed a
I'm
great
out.
time to just play like some sad music in the background.
Yeah.
Dang it. If I'd have been smarter back then, the violin.
What's your creepiest scene during the game, man?
It's the same one. It was the first time we didn't expect it. When we were sitting there, because I was sitting, because you remember Jarek's house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was on the stairs. Our Kitsune, I don't care. Kitsune's grown enough. He knows I mess with him all the time about this crap. He's sitting on the stairs. And I was sitting on the, like, lower, near the stairs, and I'm looking at the other players, and he's doing his scene, and then I noticed that all of a sudden, our boy Rhett, because that's back when Rhett was with his Rhett and Jarek, like, have this weird look. They're just looking at horror. Mm-hmm. Horror is on their face as they're looking toward the staircase. I'm just like, am I going to turn around and see a dick or something? Like, what happened? Because, like, they just look like horrified because men don't know how to handle men crying. So they're, like, looking horrified. And I turn around and I was, like, sitting and I was listening. I was like, wow, he's really doing a good job. This dialogue sounds really good. Turn around. Oh, crap, he's crying. And, I mean, everybody's just like, whoa. And, like, it keeps going. And what's funny is that you and Jarek did the same thing. Jarek just said, I need a smoke break. And like, and then I did the same thing where I followed a little bit afterward. I was just like, and we were outside, and I mean, me and Jarek on the carport going, what the fuck was that? I don't know. Is he okay? Like, do we need to talk to him? I don't know. Did something happen to him? Was he an altar boy? Like, what do we not know? Where are these tears coming from? So, like, we had this moment of shock because we're worried, like, maybe something's really going on. So, like, that was it. Then we warned you because we were just like, dude, it's going to be really weird. And then the second one it wasn't as creepy because I was too busy enjoying his pain.
I probably would have gotten through it if it was just him crying. It was the fact he walked over to me and got on his knees, fist in the air, and was crying, like, in front of me. And I was just
You're
like,
the GM. And also the lack of support, because I know, like, it was just, we were just all like, this is you. Mike had to run it last time. It's your problem now. Like, excuse me, Jarek. But, like, yeah, that was just wow, man. Like, that was just a moment where we were just like,
You know, I mean, that's right up there with my ex-brother-in-law. You won't let me know you. All right.
But at least y'all were drunk.
Yeah.
That helped.
You have one you want to tell us, Blood Axe? Well,
was that time we almost beat those people? I mean,
No, I'm not going. We already told that story, I think, twice already.
Okay.
So
time we almost all went to jail? Is that?
That one wasn't creepy. That was more.
It was creepy to the people it happened to. I mean, you showed up with a bunch of black people in this place that didn't have black people. Because, I mean, we're so far out in the boonies that black people didn't exist out there.
He's not telling that one.
I was carrying a 45. Y'all had golf clubs. Yeah, it was scary, but it wasn't creepy.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think the creepiest story, and I was going to go video games, but I'm going to redo it and use video games for next time we roll it. But from a tabletop perspective, and you were there present for this one as well, is the time that one of our players told us, and I don't know why he shared this with us, but apparently when he was like 6, he was jumping over a fence, one of those cyclone fences with the prongs at the top, and it punctured one of his testicles, which eventually got infected and ruptured. And I'm like, okay, so what are you saying? We'll only have one testicle left. I'm like, okay.
This is in the middle of the game?
Yeah, like not information that was relevant to the session that we were having.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. And we go on with the game and still kind of,
Does his character only have one testicle?
No, this is a real life.
I know.
Yeah, no. And so we're doing this game, and I'm running this campaign, and he comes up and starts running his mouth to one of my villains, because in this game I had a villain that had a fear effect. Well, his character was immune to fear, and so I made everybody make fear checks, and I think Q failed or somebody failed, and he boasts, "Don't ignore me," in which case the mummy cast destruction. In which
the mummy's despair paralyzed you with fear. Most of the party got paralyzed, and like the mummy was focused on someone else. He goes, "Don't ignore me." Yeah, and the mummy didn't ignore him.
And he failed his fortitude save because I think he was running a wizard or something, which had no fort save at all. In which case he got mad and threw his character sheet down, his pencils, and he said, "I'm leaving." I said to him, "So what you're saying is you're going to take your ball and go home now?" At which point we didn't see him for a couple of sessions.
You dusted, by the way. Destruction dust you. So I mean, he got Thanos. It was "Don't ignore me." Poof, dust.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason he was doing that because he was playing a character that was an outsider, and because we were stuck in Ravenloft, outsiders would reform, but not if you're destroyed. So like he actually found a way to get himself genuinely killed. So that was also funny. It's like, no, you're dead. Like you got dusted.
That was a different character. This one was not an outsider, and actually, it was a planar seal campaign. Had y'all ever played the game Master of Magic back in the 90s?
No.
Not familiar with that.
Okay, so there was a game that's kind of like Civilization but magic based, and there was a spell where you could actually seal the planes where you couldn't plane hop, and that's where I got the idea from. Is I'm going to seal the planes, and the characters have to figure out what's going on and break the seal. But his character was non-extraplanar. This next one was, and his next one got completely hosed.
He still found a way to get him killed. But that's another story. That's another story another time. That's a good one, too. What you did to him was wrong, though, man. That was cold.
Take your ball and go home.
No. What he did after that was worse.
I'm still, that was cruel, man. All right, last subject. CD Projekt Red source code reportedly sells for millions. And this is after all this shit that happened this week.
Hackety hack.
CD Projekt Red got hacked. Their source code apparently got stolen for both
also their personnel
Cyberpunk
files.
and The Witcher 3 source code was both stolen. Personnel files, emails, all this stuff was supposedly also stolen. Now, of course, this was all said during the ransom text that was left on their server once the hacker left their server. So, I mean, they did have access. They also did, they encrypted the servers. So, you know, they were trying to ransomware to get the de-encryption so that Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red could get control of their servers again. Now, CD Projekt Red said, no, screw you. And they just, they had a backup. So they only lost like about half a day's worth of work. Throwing their backup up, but
that half a day's of work was the patch we've all been waiting for.
I mean, we may see delay in the patch. Who knows?
It's buggy. I've been playing Cyberpunk. It is really buggy.
Oh no, there's definitely bugs. That's never been a question, I think, with Cyberpunk.
It's fun, but it's glitchy as hell.
But then supposedly after that, it said that it was sold for millions. Now there's a lot of speculation on this. Everything from it was sold and CD Projekt Red actually bought it behind the scenes so they didn't have to look like they were bending to the hackers, to that it wasn't actually sold. That's just to save face of the hackers who were rejected, to many other different theories and stuff. But it was supposedly reportedly by the hackers sold.
Yeah, you don't want to give hackers incentivization to say if we keep doing this, they'll keep paying us money. I understand why they did it. But one of the theories I had was that whoever purchased it, if it wasn't CD Projekt Red, was simply to be able to make mods quicker and implement them better because they have the full code.
That's a pretty high price tag, though.
Yeah, that's what I say. Millions of dollars, so it's pretty high. I mean, your best bet when you do something like that, if you just want to screw somebody, is just release it to the public.
But whoever purchased it really can't build a game and release that game because they'll be sued by CD Projekt Red.
Oh yeah, the second is you show up with their source code, like they'd have to modify it so much that the benefits are hard to see. But of course, there is some other crazier theories that like. The reason that the government, like over there, paid so much money on this is that some of the source code was used for military programs, and thus the source code could be. But that's getting into tinfoil hat territory.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, the whole CD Projekt Red, there's been so much theory and tinfoil hat concepts. Like Cyberpunk has brought out the weird in people.
And remember back when I said that I don't know how long Cyberpunk's going to last, because I've been wanting it to get eventually kind of fixed to where I can start it up again, because I'm waiting before I go through it, till they kind of do some more patching. But CD Projekt Red's having so many problems, man. I'm like, is it going to make it?
I don't think it's. I mean, they made a shit ton of money off this game, though.
They've lost a crap ton of money on some of this stuff, too,
They haven't lost that much, honestly, dude. I mean, most of the fines have been held,
yeah, but this is costing, man. That's a lot. That definitely is a loss.
It costs
just getting
some time.
Hacked. Yeah, that's time is money.
Yeah.
Also, stock. I mean, investors can't be happy.
You figure, I think a lot of developers are also working from home. It's very likely that a lot of them had code on their home machines, so it's negotiable how much they actually lost. But
what about the elephant in the room, man?
What's that?
Cyberpunk got hacked. I mean, come on, man. That is just like that's wild.
I mean, have you seen their hacking system?
Hey, they didn't say they got the camera footage too. Like that'd be funny to we got camera footage from inside the building.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out their hacking system, but it's not that hard at all.
No,
I believe that's what the hackers said. Also, was like this wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, there was a lot of comments on when they got hacked of people just throwing in like number and letter blocks and going, "Is this how they did it?"
Successful, yeah.
How much RAM did it cost to hack? Did you? Which diamond did you use? Did you data mine?
The use of the game mechanics to make memes from them being hacked has spread quite quickly. But no, they got hacked. It will be interesting to see if this does affect the release scheduled patches or the if they'll rush some more stuff. If they're afraid that some source code may get leaked out of projects that they were working on. It'll be interesting.
All I know is that I know one person that's sitting there going like, "Well, we got off easy." Oh, Bethesda, they got to be like, crap. We thought they were mad about Vault 76, but damn, like we didn't catch it like this. These suckers went after CD Projekt, lawsuits, like crazy, just mad lawsuits, and now like a genuine, we got hacked and they stole our code. I wish they got the Vault 76 code. I mean, they could have probably made that a pretty good game, but wow, they got it. Bethesda won't ever pull that crap again after seeing this. They got to be like, whoa, guys. That could have been us. We were close.
Oh, I mean,
Like, I feel bad for Gina Red just because this is a bit much. Like, you thought they brought up the Holocaust. Like, damn, man, they went after him.
Oh.
What? I'm saying people go
I
off.
think we're going to end the show before Q gets us, like, banned from Twitch.
That's okay. The hackers will get us back on. Yo. I love that. That would be awesome. They ban us and they just insert us. They go in and insert us right back in.
All right, guys. Anybody have any last comments before we end this? Anything that won't get us banned or
Don't cry in front of your male friends.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
probably should.
A lot of people should keep their mouth shut. That's a good one. Celebrities, keep your mouth shut. Friends, don't cry in front of other men. We don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
You ain't got nothing?
I've got nothing, man. I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm gonna use that one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, go over to YouTube and subscribe and like anyway.
We're still currently on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We're not really posting a lot right now because we usually use those for our con footage.
We're not going anywhere.
We haven't really.
I don't think you want like my quarantine pics of me just like in the house, like.
Yeah, cons not really a thing right now, and if they were, we probably wouldn't go.
Apparently, even if we did go, apparently we wouldn't see Kevin Sorbo.
Well, there you
it's
go.
not the same, man. He gets refused for cons that he was never asked to go to.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, we hope you enjoyed.